There comes a time in every person's life when nothing seems to make sense. When plans fall apart, people disappoint us, and the road ahead disappears into fog. In those moments, the mind begins to panic, the heart starts to doubt, and fear whispers that everything is falling apart. But the truth, my friends, is that life is never falling apart. It is simply falling into place. You just cannot see the design yet. The greatest struggle of the human spirit is the desire to control what cannot be controlled. From the moment we begin to dream, we also begin to plan, to push, to strive for the perfect outcome. We try to control how life unfolds, believing that our effort alone will shape destiny. Yet the truth is that much of life is guided by a higher order, an invisible intelligence that sees beyond our limited vision. When we cling too tightly to our plans, we resist the flow of this divine guidance. To relax and trust means to let go of the illusion of control and to open yourself to the higher plan that is already in motion. Letting go does not mean giving up or becoming passive. It means surrendering the struggle of trying to force life into your design. It means acknowledging that you are co-creating with a power far greater than yourself. There is an intelligence that holds the stars in place, that causes the sun to rise and the heart to beat without your command. This same intelligence governs your path. You are not here by accident, and neither are the events that unfold in your life. Every circumstance, whether joyful or painful, is a thread in the tapestry of your becoming. But you cannot see the full picture when you focus only on one thread. When you let go of control, you create space for miracles. Control is born of fear, the fear that things will not work out, that you are not safe unless you manipulate every outcome. But the truth is, life does not bend to force, it responds to faith. The moment you release the need to know every step ahead, you open the door for something higher to guide your feet. You begin to notice signs, synchronicities, and opportunities that were invisible before. The energy that once went into worrying now fuels creativity, peace, and awareness. You stop fighting against life and begin flowing with it. Think about the ocean. The tide moves in and out according to its rhythm, and no amount of resistance can alter that flow. If you try to swim against it, you exhaust yourself. But when you move with it, you travel farther with less effort. Life works the same way. The universe has its timing, and everything unfolds when you are ready, not when you are impatient. Your task is to align your energy with trust, to act when inspired, and to rest when guided to wait. Control tightens your world, but trust expands it. Many people believe that control equals strength, but true strength is found in surrender. It takes courage to admit that you do not have all the answers. It takes faith to keep walking when you cannot see the full road ahead. This kind of surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is saying, I trust that life is working for me, even when I cannot understand how. The greatest leaders, inventors, and thinkers have all learned this truth. Napoleon Hill himself wrote that infinite intelligence reveals itself only to the mind that is calm, confident, and open to guidance. When the mind is tense with fear, it cannot receive higher instruction. Letting go of control allows divine timing to operate freely. Sometimes what you think is a setback is actually protection. Sometimes what you perceive as failure is simply a redirection. You might lose something only to gain something far greater. When you stop demanding that life follow your plan, you allow life to deliver something better. The higher plan often exceeds your imagination because it comes from a wisdom far beyond human calculation. The universe sees what you cannot see. It arranges circumstances for your highest good, even if it means temporary discomfort or delay. To let go, you must trust in a power that never fails. That trust begins with faith in yourself, because you are part of that power. When you trust that life supports you, you move with grace even in uncertainty. You begin to realize that everything happens for a reason, that every event serves a purpose in your evolution. The people who come and go, the opportunities that arrive or disappear, all contribute to the perfection of your story. Nothing is wasted. The higher plan wastes nothing. It transforms pain into wisdom, loss into growth, and waiting into preparation. When you live from trust instead of control, peace becomes your natural state. You no longer feel the need to rush or manipulate outcomes. You take inspired action, but you do not panic when results take time. You understand that what is meant for you will find its way to you. Life begins to feel lighter, freer, and more harmonious. The moments that once filled you with anxiety now become opportunities to practice faith. You learn to breathe through uncertainty, to rest in divine timing, and to believe that unseen forces are arranging everything for your good. Letting go of control and trusting the higher plan is the path to inner mastery. It is the bridge between human effort and divine assistance. When you surrender your need to control, you make room for infinite intelligence to operate through you. And when that happens, your actions become more effective, your choices clearer, and your results more aligned with your true purpose. The same power that guides the universe begins to guide your life. It does not mean the absence of effort, it means the presence of peace while you act. You are no longer striving, you are allowing, you are no longer chasing, you are becoming. And in that becoming, you discover that the plan was never outside of you. It was always within you, waiting for your trust to bring it to life. Faith is the invisible force that separates those who merely wish from those who achieve. It is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the dream and its manifestation. Fear and faith cannot live in the same heart. One must always silence the other. Fear whispers that you are not enough, that the path ahead is too uncertain, that life may not favor you. Faith, on the other hand, speaks with quiet confidence. It reminds you that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, that you are guided, and that no obstacle is stronger than the power that lives within you. To relax and trust means to choose faith over fear, again and again, until it becomes your natural state of being. Fear is the mind's reaction to the unknown. It thrives in the absence of trust. The moment you lose faith, your imagination begins to create worst-case scenarios. Your energy tightens, your focus narrows, and your vision becomes clouded. You start doubting your path and your potential, but faith expands your vision. It allows you to see possibilities where fear only sees problems. It opens doors that would otherwise remain closed because faith itself is creative energy. The universe responds to belief. It mirrors the vibration of your inner certainty. Whatever you deeply believe, you draw toward yourself. When you operate from fear, you emit resistance. When you operate from faith, you emit power. This is not merely poetic language, it is spiritual law. Every thought carries frequency, every emotion transmits energy, and the universe responds to that energy with precision. Fear blocks flow because it signals distrust in the divine process. Faith restores flow because it aligns you with the natural order of abundance and peace. That is why every great teacher throughout time has said, "According to your faith, it shall be done unto you." Faith is not a weak hope, it is a commanding belief. To live by faith means to walk forward without needing to see the full staircase. You take the next step, even when the path is dimly lit, because you know that the light will appear as you move. Fear demands certainty before action, but faith moves first and allows certainty to follow. This is how progress happens, through the courage to act when the outcome is still unseen. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable began with faith, not proof. Proof came later as a reward for belief. Think of every dreamer who changed the world. They were told their ideas were impossible, that they were aiming too high, but they refused to let fear dominate their minds. They trusted that the invisible forces of inspiration, persistence, and divine timing would support them. When Thomas Edison was asked how he endured thousands of failures before inventing the light bulb, he said he never failed. He only discovered thousands of ways that did not work. That is faith in action. Confidence that the unseen power of intelligence will eventually reveal the answer to a mind that refuses to give in to fear. Fear is a liar that speaks in the language of limitation. It tells you to play small, to avoid risk, to stay where it feels safe. But faith is the voice of the soul. It calls you to rise, to expand, to believe that you are supported by something far greater than your fears. Fear looks at the storm and says, "I will drown." Faith looks at the same storm and says, "The wind and the waves are guiding me to the shore." The difference is not in circumstance, but in perspective. When your mind is trained to trust, challenges become teachers rather than threats. To build faith stronger than fear, you must train it like a muscle. Faith grows through repetition, through choosing belief even when the evidence is invisible. Each time you act from trust instead of panic, Faith strengthens. Each time you thank life for a blessing that has not yet appeared, you reinforce your alignment with divine timing. Faith does not mean pretending problems do not exist. It means knowing that within every problem lies a solution already forming. Fear sees the mountain. Faith sees the summit. Fear freezes. Faith climbs. One of the secrets to cultivating faith is gratitude. When you express gratitude for what is, you signal to the universe that you are ready for more. Gratitude dissolves fear because it focuses your mind on abundance rather than lack. You begin to see evidence of support everywhere. People who help at the right moment, opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere, solutions that arrive just in time. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that your faith is working. The more you trust, the more you attract proof that you were right to trust. Faith is also about self-belief. You cannot trust life if you do not trust yourself. You must believe that you have the strength, wisdom, and inner guidance to meet whatever comes. Faith is not blind optimism. It is deep knowing. It is the awareness that there is a purpose to every season, that even pain carries instruction, that the universe is not against you but for you. When you live from that knowing, your energy shifts from desperation to confidence. You no longer chase outcomes. You attract them through the power of calm conviction. Fear thrives in noise. Faith grows in stillness. When you quiet your mind, you can hear the whisper of intuition guiding your steps. That inner voice is the language of divine intelligence. It speaks softly, but it never misleads. When you learn to follow that voice instead of the loud voice of fear, your life becomes smoother, lighter, more guided. Decisions come with clarity. Doubt begins to fade. You start to realize that faith was never something you had to earn. It was always within you, waiting to be remembered. The day you choose faith over fear, your entire world begins to change. You start seeing possibilities where before there was only confusion. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start declaring, what if it does? You become a magnet for the very experiences that once seemed out of reach. The power that once created galaxies now works through your thoughts, your actions, and your belief. And all it asks of you is this simple choice: to relax, to trust, and to let faith be stronger than fear. There are moments in life when everything seems to stand still. The plans you made do not move forward. The dreams you have seem distant, and your efforts appear to bring no results. These are the seasons of waiting, and for most people, they are the hardest to endure. In a world that praises speed and constant action, stillness feels uncomfortable. Yet the truth is that the waiting season is never wasted time. It is sacred ground where unseen transformation occurs, where strength, patience, and clarity are built in silence. What looks like delay is often divine preparation. Life uses waiting to refine you, to teach you trust, and to shape you into the person capable of holding what you've asked for. Just as a seed must remain underground before it breaks through the soil, so must your dreams be nurtured in silence before they blossom. The seed is not inactive in the darkness. It is developing roots, anchoring itself, and gathering strength to rise. If the seed were forced to grow too soon, it would die because its foundation would be weak. The same is true for your life. When it feels like nothing is happening, everything is actually happening in the unseen. The universe is arranging the right people, the right timing, and the right conditions. Your waiting season is where the foundation of your success is laid. People often mistake waiting for stagnation, but there is a profound difference. Stagnation is resistance. Waiting is readiness. Stagnation comes from fear and doubt. Waiting comes from faith and surrender. When you wait with trust, you are not idle. You are allowing divine timing to unfold perfectly. You are learning patience, humility, and endurance. You are being trained to recognize what is real and what is fleeting. The person you become during the wait determines how well you will handle what is coming. Many people rush to achieve something only to lose it quickly because they were not prepared to sustain it. The waiting season protects you from premature success. It is during waiting that character is forged. When everything goes according to plan, patience is never tested, and faith is never deepened. But when life slows down, when prayers seem unanswered, and progress feels distant, that is when your inner strength is revealed. You begin to ask deeper questions, to reflect, to understand yourself and your desires on a new level. Waiting teaches discernment. It separates what you want right now from what you truly need for your destiny. It purifies your motives. Many of the greatest visions in history were born not in moments of movement, but in seasons of stillness. Waiting is also a test of alignment. It asks, do you trust life even when you don't understand it? Anyone can believe when results are visible, but true faith believes when evidence is invisible. When you learn to be calm in delay, you align yourself with the natural rhythm of creation. You stop forcing outcomes and start allowing them. This state of inner peace makes you magnetic. It attracts clarity, inspiration, and new opportunities. While impatience repels blessings, calm expectancy draws them closer. Every spiritual law teaches that what you chase from desperation runs away, but what you trust to come arrives. During waiting, your energy is recalibrated. You are given time to rest, to heal, to recover from old battles before entering new ones. Sometimes, the pause is divine protection. If everything you wanted came when you demanded it, you might not have the maturity to handle it. The universe delays not to punish, but to prepare. There are lessons you can only learn in the quiet, experiences that can only be understood when the noise of movement fades. What feels like emptiness is often sacred preparation. The waiting season also reveals who you are without external validation. When progress is visible, it is easy to feel confident. But when you must walk by faith alone, you discover the depth of your belief. You learn to generate peace from within, to rely on inner assurance rather than outer signs. This builds spiritual resilience. It teaches you that happiness and confidence do not depend on circumstances. They come from trust in the divine order. Once you understand this, no delay can shake you. You no longer question if you are on the right path because you know that life's timing is perfect, even when your understanding is not. In the silence of waiting, intuition becomes louder. When you stop rushing, you begin to hear the inner voice that has been guiding you all along. Ideas emerge, clarity forms, direction appears naturally. You begin to realize that what you thought was stillness was actually a deeper form of progress. The roots of a tree grow in darkness before it ever stretches toward the sun. So it is with you. Your unseen growth is more important than your visible success. When your foundation is deep, no storm can uproot you later. To truly relax and trust, you must honor the waiting season as a divine appointment, not a delay. Every great transformation requires time. The butterfly must remain in the cocoon before it can fly. The artist must spend hours in solitude before the masterpiece is revealed. The universe does not rush because it operates by perfect order. Everything comes together exactly when it should, and not a moment sooner. When you understand this, you stop asking, when will it happen, and start saying, I know it's on its way. That shift in mindset changes everything. It brings peace instead of anxiety, gratitude instead of frustration, and wisdom instead of impatience. So the next time you find yourself waiting, do not curse the silence. Embrace it as the space where the universe prepares your next chapter. Trust that the stillness is not punishment, it is placement. You are being refined, strengthened, and aligned. Life is not withholding from you, it is investing in you. The waiting season is not empty time. It is sacred preparation for something greater than you can imagine. When the right moment arrives, everything will unfold effortlessly, and you will understand why the wait was necessary. Until then, rest in faith. The unseen is working for you, and in the right time, it will become visible. Energy is the language of the universe, and it speaks long before words are ever heard. Every thought, every emotion, every belief emits a vibration that shapes the circumstances of your life. When your mind is restless and filled with worry, you send out waves of resistance. You push away what you want because fear and anxiety close the door to flow. But when you are calm, when your heart is steady and your spirit relaxed, your energy becomes magnetic. You stop chasing outcomes and begin attracting them. The universe does not respond to struggle, it responds to alignment. Calm energy is the signal that tells life you are ready to receive. To understand this, imagine two people planting seeds in a garden. One digs furiously, constantly checking to see if the seed is growing, impatient and doubtful. The other plants with care, waters it daily, and trusts that nature will do its work. The first disturbs the process through anxiety. The second accelerates it through faith. Both have the same dream, but only one aligns with the rhythm of growth. In the same way, your calmness is evidence of trust, and trust allows manifestation to occur without obstruction. The law of attraction operates not on desperation, but on belief. When your energy vibrates with peace, you align with the frequency of abundance and opportunity. Calm energy is not the absence of action, it is the presence of certainty. When you act from calmness, your actions are precise, inspired, and efficient. There is no wasted movement, because you are not driven by fear. You move when intuition nudges you and pause when guidance tells you to wait. This creates a flow that feels effortless, as though life itself is helping you. Most people exhaust themselves because they act from panic. They believe that tension equals effort and that struggle means progress. But stress is not a symbol of productivity. It is a sign of misalignment. When your energy is tense, your mind cannot think clearly and your intuition is silenced. Calmness, however, clears the channel through which wisdom flows. Think of the surface of a lake. When it is disturbed, you cannot see your reflection clearly. But when the water becomes still, everything becomes visible. Your mind works in the same way. When it is clouded with worry, doubt, and haste, it loses the ability to receive divine guidance. Calmness allows you to see beyond appearances, to recognize patterns, and to make choices that align with your purpose. This is why great leaders, thinkers, and creators often speak of the power of stillness. Their most brilliant ideas did not arise from chaos, but from quiet confidence. Calm energy also creates a magnetic field around you that influences others. People are naturally drawn to those who radiate peace. They feel safe, understood, and uplifted in your presence. This energy opens doors that effort alone could never open. Opportunities appear, not because you chase them, but because your energy invites them. The universe mirrors your inner state. If you are anxious, it reflects confusion. If you are calm, it reflects harmony. To relax and trust is to send a signal of readiness to life. It says, I believe everything is working for my good, and I no longer need to force what is already destined. That vibration aligns you with the right people, timing, and circumstances effortlessly. One of the secrets to cultivating calm energy is awareness. Most people live in reaction to life. They allow external events to dictate their internal state. But mastery begins when you choose your inner state, regardless of outer conditions. Calmness is a decision, not a reaction. It is the choice to anchor yourself in faith instead of fear. When you feel tension rising, pause and breathe. Remind yourself that rushing will not make anything arrive sooner. The universe does not respond to panic, it responds to purpose. The more peaceful you become, the more powerful your energy grows, and the more you attract what matches that peace. Calm energy is also the foundation of creativity. When your mind is still, you can access higher levels of thought. Inspiration flows effortlessly because your mental space is open. Anxiety blocks creativity because it focuses on what might go wrong, while calmness allows the imagination to explore what could go right. When you trust the process of life, your ideas carry the vibration of confidence. People sense that energy in your words, your actions, and your presence. Calm confidence is far more persuasive than loud ambition. It is silent power, the kind that moves mountains without shouting. Nature itself teaches this principle. The river does not force its way to the ocean. It flows naturally, carving its path with patience and grace. The sun does not rush to rise. It appears at the exact moment it should. The seasons change with perfect timing, without anxiety or resistance. This is the harmony of existence. And when you embody calmness, you join that rhythm. You become part of the natural flow of life instead of standing against it. In this flow, everything you need begins to come toward you with ease because you are no longer sending out signals of tension or scarcity. Calmness also strengthens faith. When you are at peace, you can sense the quiet assurance that life is guiding you. You stop doubting whether things will work out and start expecting them to. This expectancy is powerful. It transforms your vibration from fear to fulfillment. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about knowing that even imperfections have purpose. Calmness is rooted in trust, and trust creates alignment. When you are aligned, you no longer compete or compare. You simply attract what belongs to you. In moments of uncertainty, the greatest power you can hold is calmness. The mind may panic, But the soul always knows. When you slow down and breathe, you connect with that knowing. Answers come not through striving, but through surrender. You realize that what you desire is already finding its way to you, and your only task is to remain in harmony with that process. The universe responds instantly to energy, and calmness is the highest form of confidence you can express. It says, I am safe, I am guided, I trust that what is mine cannot miss me. When you live in that vibration, you stop fighting life and start flowing with it. The calm energy you cultivate becomes your greatest magnet, drawing to you everything that aligns with peace, purpose, and divine timing. Every step you take in life, no matter how small or uncertain, is guided by a force far greater than your own understanding. Even when circumstances appear chaotic or confusing, there is an invisible order at work, arranging everything for your highest good. You are never walking alone, though it may sometimes feel that way. There is an unseen intelligence moving through every detail of your existence, leading you toward growth, wisdom, and purpose. To trust that you are guided and protected is to live with a quiet confidence that no obstacle can truly harm you, and no detour can truly delay what is meant for you. Many people live as though they are separate from the divine, as if they must fight through life using only their strength. They feel lost when things go wrong, and anxious when they cannot see the path ahead. But the truth is that you have never been without guidance. Every intuition, every inner nudge, every coincidence that feels too precise to be random is a sign of that higher intelligence communicating with you. It speaks through feeling, through timing, through the subtle orchestration of events that align perfectly once you look back. What seems like luck or chance is often divine coordination in disguise. Life's guidance rarely comes with full instructions. Instead, it gives you one step at a time. The light of faith does not illuminate the entire road. It shows just enough for you to move forward. When you take that step in trust, the next one appears. This is how divine guidance works. It asks for your cooperation through faith. When you try to control everything, you interrupt the process. But when you allow yourself to be led, you begin to sense the gentle hand that has been steering your course all along. You start to notice how even challenges and delays carried hidden blessings, and how every setback contained a lesson designed to prepare you for something greater. Being guided and protected does not mean life will be free of hardship. It means that every hardship serves a higher purpose. You are being shaped, refined, and elevated through your experiences. Protection does not always come as the removal of pain. Sometimes it appears as the strength to endure it, the wisdom to learn from it, or the redirection that saves you from a greater loss. Often what you perceive as rejection is actually divine redirection. The door that closes is the one that was never meant to lead you forward. The plan you thought was perfect may not align with your soul's true path, so life intervenes to reroute you. In those moments, trust that the unseen intelligence knows what you cannot yet see. There have been countless times in every person's life when something that once felt devastating later proved to be a blessing. The job that didn't work out led to a better opportunity. The relationship that ended made space for healing and self-discovery. The plan that failed taught resilience and faith. These are not coincidences. They are the evidence of guidance. Life does not abandon you when things fall apart. It redirects you toward what is meant for your growth. The unseen hand of protection is most active when your human mind feels most lost. That is why surrendering to divine order brings peace. It reminds you that you do not need to know every answer, only to trust that the answers will come in time. Your intuition is one of the most powerful instruments of divine guidance. It is the quiet voice beneath the noise of your thoughts, the feeling in your heart that nudges you toward or away from certain paths. This voice never shouts, it whispers. To hear it, you must create stillness within. When you are calm and centered, you can sense the subtle pull of intuition directing you. When you ignore it out of fear or impatience, life gently corrects your course, sometimes through discomfort, to bring you back into alignment. Trusting, that inner voice is trusting the divine presence within you. It is proof that guidance is not external, but built into your very being. Protection also manifests through timing. Sometimes the delay you resent is the shield that keeps you safe. You may be ready for your dream, but the circumstances around it are not yet aligned. Life waits until every piece fits perfectly. What looks like stagnation is often synchronization. When things finally fall into place, You realize why the delay was necessary. The people who needed to meet you are finally in position. The skills you needed to develop have matured, and the lessons you needed to learn have grounded you in wisdom. The divine plan operates with precision, and your role is to trust its timing. You are guided and protected not because of luck or chance, but because you are part of the same intelligence that governs the universe. The same energy that moves the stars and the tides also moves through you. When you relax and trust that intelligence, you align yourself with the natural flow of life. Fear disconnects you from it, faith reconnects you. In moments of confusion, say to yourself, I am guided, I am protected, I may not see the way, but the way is being prepared for me. Those words carry power because they shift your vibration from worry to wisdom. They remind you that life is not random, it is responsive to faith. Even in your most uncertain hours when nothing seems to make sense, guidance is present. It may come through a person who appears at the perfect moment, through an idea that lights up your mind, or through an event that changes your direction. These are not accidents. The universe works with precision and compassion. Your task is not to question how the guidance will come, but to remain open to it. Stay receptive, stay trusting, and you will always be shown the next right step. The more you acknowledge this unseen guidance, the more evident it becomes. Gratitude amplifies it. When you begin to thank life for the protection you cannot yet see, you invite more of it. When you believe that you are guided, your energy shifts from survival to serenity. You no longer see life as something happening to you, but something unfolding for you. Every moment, even the difficult ones, becomes an act of grace in disguise. You begin to walk with peace, knowing that every detour still leads home, every fall still teaches flight, and every unanswered prayer still carries a blessing waiting to be revealed. There is a peace that comes from knowing that what is meant for you will never miss you. It is the calm assurance that no matter what happens, life is always leading you toward your destiny. When you truly understand this, you stop living in fear of missing opportunities, losing people, or making mistakes that ruin everything. You begin to realize that destiny is not something fragile that can slip away because of one wrong turn. It is a divine appointment that cannot be canceled, only delayed until you are ready to receive it. The timing of your life is not in the hands of chance, it is in the hands of purpose. Many people live with the anxiety of trying to control outcomes, terrified that they might miss their moment. They rush through life, chasing after things, believing that if they don't force results, nothing will happen. But life does not work that way. What is truly meant for you will always find its way to you, no matter how many detours you take. The universe does not make mistakes. Every delay, every rejection, every disappointment is part of a grand design meant to prepare you for what is already yours. When you trust this truth, you stop chasing and start attracting. You begin to move through life with grace, knowing that what belongs to you will recognize you. Sometimes you may look at others and feel that they are ahead of you, that life is favoring them while you are being overlooked. But comparison blinds you to your own timing. Each soul has its own rhythm, its own season. The flower that blooms later is not less beautiful. It simply opens at the moment when the sun is right for it. You too have your perfect season. What seems like delay is often divine protection. If you received what you desire before you were ready, it might overwhelm you or slip away. Life waits until your character, strength, and wisdom have matured enough to sustain your blessings. That is why patience is not weakness, it is trust in action. There are moments when it feels like you missed your chance, like you said the wrong thing, made the wrong decision, or took too long to act. But destiny is not fragile. What is meant for you will find another route. Life has infinite ways of bringing you back on course. Even your mistakes are woven into the design. The paths you thought were failures often turn into the very roads that lead to fulfillment. A wrong turn in your eyes can be a right turn in the eyes of destiny. Every misstep carries a hidden purpose. Every loss hides a lesson that shapes your readiness. When you look back, you realize that what seemed like chaos was actually choreography. There is a reason some people walk into your life and then walk out again. Some are not meant to stay, they are meant to awaken you. Others are meant to guide you, teach you, or redirect you towards something greater. You cannot cling to what is not meant for you and still move forward. When something or someone leaves your life, it is not rejection, it is redirection. You are being cleared of what no longer serves your growth so that what is truly meant for you can find room to arrive. This truth is freeing because it means you do not need to fear losing anything. If it is truly yours, it will return in its highest form. If it does not, it was never meant to stay. Trusting that what is meant for you will never miss you requires faith in timing. You must learn to surrender your need for instant results and believe that everything unfolds at the perfect moment. The seed does not question the soil, it simply grows when the season calls it forth. Likewise, your dreams are planted within you by divine design. They may take time to manifest, but they are growing beneath the surface even when you cannot see them. When the conditions of your life align, they will bloom effortlessly. That is the beauty of trusting the process. You no longer need to force growth. You simply nurture your faith. The universe works through alignment, not struggle. When your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are in harmony with your purpose, the right opportunities naturally gravitate toward you. You do not need to chase, you need to align. The moment you stop resisting what is and begin trusting what will be, life begins to flow in your favor. This is not passive waiting, it is active faith. It means doing your part with excellence and surrendering the outcome. It means knowing that even if the door closes, it only does so because a better one is opening elsewhere. It means walking forward with courage even when the path ahead is hidden, because you know that life is working for you, not against you. There will be seasons when nothing makes sense, when every effort seems to fail and the future looks uncertain. In those moments, remember that divine timing is not your timing. You are being prepared for something beyond what you can now imagine. The people, opportunities, and miracles meant for you are being aligned. You may not see the movement, but it is happening. The universe is never idle. It is always arranging, always refining, always guiding. When you relax into trust, you become magnetic to all that is meant for you. You send out a vibration of peace, and that peace attracts clarity, love, and abundance. To trust that what is meant for you will never miss you is to live with a heart free of fear and regret. You stop questioning every twist of fate and start embracing every moment as part of your path. You begin to see that nothing is ever wasted, not time, not pain, not effort. Everything serves a purpose. Life is not about chasing what you want. It's about becoming who you are meant to be so that what is meant for you can recognize you. When you reach that level of faith, you stop fighting the current and allow yourself to be carried by it. You move through life knowing that your destiny is not lost. It is waiting, and it is certain. What is yours will come, and when it does, you will understand why it had to take the time it did.